So this is going to be my very first hat tutorial on a pattern that I wrote up myself, and it's of this Christmas one cone stocking pattern. And I will show you the things that you need. Push that back right there. We used patty green, cherry red, and then just plain white. And I have pre-made a pom-pom, and I used the big pom-pom maker and dental floss to tie around it prior to putting on the yarn. You are going to need a yarn needle to weave in all your ends, and scissors, and today I'm going to be using an H, and I believe that's a 5.0 millimeter hook. And then I'm going to give you a quick glance at the pattern that I've written up, and I'm going to be showing you how to do this. So let's get started. Okay, so I'm going to be starting with red. And this is how you can use a magic circle or whatever you prefer. I prefer to do a chain 4 or chain 3. And then I'm going to join to make a loop, like so. And I have a small little hole right there. I'm going to chain 1, and I'm going to do 6 center crochets into the center. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And I'm going to slightly pull on that tail that I held all the way around to close the hole. I could pull a little tighter, but I need a little bit open to sew on the pom-pom later. Now, I'm going to join, so I always count back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to join in right there, if I can get it in there. Figures. Okay. And then I'm going to be making, I'm only going to chain 1, and then I'm going to double crochet into that same stitch. And then I'm going to do 1 double crochet in each stitch. 1. My hook is squeaky. Let's see, where am I? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me do it this way. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then what I'm going to do, this is where I kind of do my increase at the end, but yet it's also at the beginning of my row. Where I joined and did a chain 1, I am going to add a double crochet into that same stitch where I first started. And this is what's going to create a straight seam. Now, I'm going to move on to the green. I'm just going to simply hold the yarn, insert my hook into that first double crochet. I'm not going to count that first chain. I'm going to insert the first double crochet and then pull up my loop, and I'm just gonna pull that tight. So I'm gonna chain 1, and now I'm gonna be doing 8 double crochets in this row. Okay, so I just did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to be doing 7. And then I'm going to put that last one in the same stitch I started in, right there. To make my 8th single or 8th double. Now what I like to do is I grab my yarn from this row, and I'm going to join in that first. Remember, skipping that chain. I'm going to go through the top 2 loops, and I'm just simply going to carry my yarn up and lock that into place. So it's where I need it to be. I'm going to chain 1, and now I'm going to be doing 9 double crochets. Okay, so I'm going to be completing my row here with my 9th double crochet into the same as my first double crochet, my join. And now I'm going to carry this yarn over. I'm going to pick up the red. I'm going to put it into my first double crochet, skipping that chain, grabbing my red and joining. Give that a little tug to tighten it up. And we are going to now do, what am I on, 9, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 double crochets, 1 in each stitch until the end. Okay, so I'm going to be doing my 10th double crochet, and I'm going to put it into that same stitch as the beginning, and that is my increase stitch. I'm just going to tuck these tails in, carry the green over, insert my hook, give it a little tug. Now I'm going to do my chain 1 and double crochet into that same stitch, and I will be continuing this until I get to 11 double crochets. Okay, so I'm going to be completing my last stitch. I hope the lighting is okay. Into that first stitch. And now I'm going to be dropping the red and picking up the green. Now you're going to continue this, alternating colors every 2 rows until you have 35 stitches around, increasing 1 every row. And that should take you to row 30, and you should end with 35 double crochets. Okay, so I have done my 30 rows, alternating every 2 rows. Now this is where we get a little tricky on the increases. So I'm going to do my last stitch, my increase stitch, right here, drop the red. And now for this row, I am going to do 1 more row of increase, which will take you to 36 double crochets around, and I'll see you after the row is done. Okay, so now I'm on, this is my stitch number 36, my increase row, bring up my red yarn. Now for this row, we are going to increase 2. So we are going to do a chain 1 and double crochet into that same stitch. And then we are going to do 17 double crochets, 1, 2, 3, 15, 16, 17. And then I'm going to do 2 double crochets in the next stitch. And then I'm going to continue to do 17 double crochets up until that last stitch. 16, 17. And then I'm going to do my increase on the first stitch of the last row. So this will make my 2 double crochets. I'm going to drop my green, skip my chain, and join in the top of the first double crochet. And you can see by the way that I'm doing the increasing, you are going to have these little angled double crochets, but you can't really tell, and it gives you a straight seam all the way down. So that's why I'm doing the increases the first and the last stitch at the same time. So anyhow, the next row we are going to do 9 double crochets. So we are going to count, where in this row we made our first double crochet and then we counted 1, 2, 3, where this time we are going to count this first one as 1. So we're going to do this, we're going to do 9 double crochets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And I'm going to do 2 double crochets, my increase. Now I'm going to do 18 double crochets to bring my second increase on the side of the hat. So the first increase in 2 increases was one in the back and one in the front. And this row we're going to have one on the side and one on the side. So it kind of makes your hat completely even without all your increases on one side, making it kind of all wonky. So we're making it to where it's just a even circle cone. So I'm going to continue and do 18 double crochets. Okay, so I have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and now I'm going to do my increase. So 2 double crochets in the same stitch. I'm going to end with the same amount that I started with, which will complete the 18. So I have 9 right here, and I'm going to end with 9 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And I'm not going to put an increase here. I am just going to bring my green yarn up and join my row. Put a little tug. So now the next row, I am not going to count my first stitch, but I'm going to do 1 in the same stitch as I joined. And now I'm going to do 19 double crochets. Okay, so now I'm at my 19th double crochet, and I'm going to do 2 double crochets in the next stitch. And one good way to know if you're in the right spot is if you look at the second row below, there's your increase from the second row before the last. And it should be in the second increase stitch is where your next increase stitch should go. So that's just kind of a little tidbit on knowing you're in the right increase spot. So I will do 2 double crochets in the next stitch, and then I'm going to continue and do another 18 double crochets until I reach the end. So now I'm going to do my last increase into that first stitch. Join. I'm going to drop my red, pick up my green, and now I'm going to be doing 10 double crochets, so I'm going to count this first stitch as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and that should bring me to the stitch that is into that increase, which it does. And I'm going to do 2 double crochets into that stitch. Now I'm going to do 20 more double crochets. So I just finished 20 double crochets, and I'm going to just double check myself. There's my last increase, that stitch right there. I do 2 double crochets as my increase, and then I'm going to continue to do 10 double crochets to the end.
Sorry.
And since my increases are on the side, I'm going to simply just join to my first double crochet. This next round, I am going to, chain 1, and I'm going to do, I believe I'm on row 36. Let me just double count. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 2, 4, 6, 8, 32, 4, 5. Yeah, I'm on 36. Okay, so now I'm going to increase the stitches by 4 stitches per row. So I'm going to crochet 10. 10. I'm not going to count this as my first section of 10 because that's going to be the end of my increase. So I'm going to do 10 double crochets. 1, 2, 10, and I'm going to increase. There's my increase stitch. I'm going to increase there. And then I'm going to continue doing 10 more double crochets. So now I'm at my second increase of the row, and I'm at my spot that I need to be in. So I'm going to do another increase, 2 stitches in the same stitch. Then I'm going to do another 10 double crochets and do an increase right here, and then another 10 double crochets to the end. So I'll see you back at the end of the row. Okay, so here's number 10, and I'm going to do my last increase into that same stitch. And I'm going to drop my green and pick up my red. Join. We're going to chain 1, double crochet in that same stitch. Now we are going to count 11 double crochets till our increase. This is my 11th stitch from the beginning. Chain 1, double crochet, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Here's my increase. I'm going to increase. And I'm going to work that all the way around. I'm going to do 11 double crochets and an increase. Continue with 11 double crochets, increase, and 11 double crochets and increase. So I'm going to do my last increase. Oh, I don't like it when I grab yarn like that. My last increase. Carry my green yarn over. Join. Now you are going to continue to do the 4 increases on the increase of each and at the end until you have 64 stitches, which will be 14 double crochets between each increase. Okay, so now it's 14, and I'm going to do my last increase. Drop the green, pick up the red. Now that should give you 64 double crochets all the way around. Now what you're going to do is you're simply going to do 1 double crochet in each stitch all the way around, ending on this last stitch and joining to the beginning of this. You are going to be doing this from row 41 to 46, and you will end on the same color that you started with. So you're going to end with red. So I'm going to do 2 rows of red, 2 rows of green, 2 rows of red, and then I will see you back in a minute. Okay, so now I've come to the very end. I did my 2 rows of red, 2 green, and now I'm on my 2 rows of red, and I'm going to simply join. I've already cut my yarn, but you just cut your yarn, you pull that through, tighten it up, and then you just weave in these ends as normal. Then you're going to grab your white. I like to tie a little end on mine just to give it a knot. I'm going to join exactly where I tied off around my knot. Chain 1, and you're going to do a double crochet in each stitch all the way around and end right here. Then once you complete your first row, you're going to just skip that chain like you have been. Join. Now you're going to chain 1. You're going to go do a front post around the first one, back post around the second one, and then your front post around the next, and back post around the next. And you're just going to continue in that pattern. Front post, back post, front post, back post, front post, back post, front post, back post, until you get to the end. And then you are going to end on a back post double crochet. Okay, so I'm on my last, oh, wait a minute, my count is off. I should be ending on a back post. For some reason, I'm on a front post. I must have messed up somewhere. That means I'm off by 1. So that happens sometimes. Oh, I skipped 1. No, wait, no, I didn't. Anyways, I'm not going to worry about that. Doesn't matter. So then I'm going to join chain 1, and I'm going to front post around the same one I front posted before, and I'm going to back post double crochet around the same ones that I back posted all the way around until you reach row 50. So This is 47, 48, 49, and then one more row. So a total of 4 rows, and then you just fasten off. Okay, so now I'm going to be completing my last stitch. I'm going to join to the top of the double crochet. Grab my scissors. Slice. Cut it. And there you have your hat. Then you just grab your pom-pom, attach your pom-pom onto your hat, and you will have, ta-da, a Christmas hat. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope you were able to follow along, okay? And I would love for you to share your photos of your finished hats. You can do these in any colors.